Hi, everybody. Okay, let me see if I'm live in the group here. I'm popping in unexpected with no notice just to surprise you because I want to share about what is coming up next week. So let me just make sure I'm streaming here. Got my computer in front of me. Let me see. All right, cool. I see the video. All right, excellent. So if you haven't heard, the money shift, the money identity shift, you may have done the money shift challenge with me in the past. This is a new spin on that challenge, and it's called the money identity shift, why you're stuck and who you need to become to make more money. This is a 2-day live pop-up experience. It's free, and it's happening next Tuesday and Wednesday, June 9th and June 10th. So if you're interested in joining me for that, you can join at theluckysoul.com/identity. So I want to share a little bit about what this experience is about and what are some of the things that you might learn inside. So this is for you. If you feel like you keep running the same financial patterns over and over and over again, and you can't quite figure out why. You're working really hard, you're pushing, maybe you're trying different strategies, and nothing seems to actually be moving the needle in a significant way. So maybe you're earning more, but you're not keeping more, like somehow the money just magically slips through your fingers. Maybe you're learning more, like you're going out and taking classes, taking courses, but you're not implementing what you're learning. Maybe you know what to do, you know what you should be doing, but you're not doing it for some reason, and you kind of can't figure out why. There's something in the way and you don't quite know what that is. Or maybe you just keep repeating the same patterns over and over and over again, and you just kind of feel stuck, and you're like, what the heck is the problem? The cool thing about money work is that it's never about the money, right? If you've worked with me before, you've heard me say it's not about the money. It's never about the money. It's never about the money. It's not about the actual dollars and cents. It's about who you see yourself to be in relationship to the dollars and cents. And that is your money identity. So it's not about the money, it's about your money identity, who you think you are in relationship to money. So most people tend to think that money is a strategy problem, it's a budgeting problem, it's an app problem, it's a marketing problem, it's a sales problem, it's an investing problem. It's one of those, it's like that's the surface level thing, right? But it's always the stuff that's underneath the surface. It's the thoughts that you're thinking about money. It's the feelings that you have about money. It's the behaviors and actions you're taking or not taking around money. And it's the environment within which you are relating to money. So our environment has a huge impact on how confident or not confident that you feel in relationship to money and the results that you're getting or not getting in relationship to money. So we're going to explore that as we continue to dive deeper in this conversation around money identity. So someone with a scarcity money identity tends to think things like money is hard to make, or I got to work really hard for the money. This was my favorite one. It's something that I still have to be super vigilant about because I still, like, my brain always wants to default into making things harder than they need to be. Or someone with a scarcity money identity might also think there's never enough. There's just never enough. It's always just enough, or I'm just getting by. It's never more than enough. And a person in this money identity, they might feel anxious, they might feel fear, they might feel afraid of losing it all, they might feel resentful about money or resentful towards people who have money. And they might, as a result of thinking and feeling these things, they might overwork, they might avoid money completely, they might under-earn, right? They might not be earning enough and not looking for other ways to bring in more income, or they might just stay hidden. They might just be like playing underneath the radar and playing a little bit smaller than they know they could if they really wanted to expand into a bigger, more expansive, more abundant money identity. So if someone has those thoughts and feelings and behaviors, or is operating from that paradigm, what do you think their results are going to be? Probably scarcity, fear, lack, under earning, like not enough, right? The results, they're not going to get a whole lot of great results financially if you're operating from a paradigm that is based in scarcity. But someone who's operating from a more positive money identity, someone who sees money as an ally and a tool and something they can just use in the energy of or in service of exchanging goods and services in the world, someone who thinks that money is plentiful, it's abundant, opportunities, possibilities are everywhere. They're not just coming from like one direction that I think it should come from. People who think there's always more than enough. There's always more available. There's always another way. There's a way through every block. I am capable of creating wealth. They're going to have a completely different experience in relationship to money, in relationship to their dollars, and in relationship to themselves. So the reason people get stuck is that they think that the problem is the budgets and the apps and the surface level things. So what they're trying to do is fix the problem at the level of the problem. They're trying to snip the weed out of their garden rather than going to the root of that weed and getting the entire weed out of the garden. So the part that you can see, the part that you might be trying to change, which might be the debt, it might be inconsistent income, it might be financial stress or under earning, you can go straight at that problem and you can make some progress. But if you haven't gotten to the core of why that problem existed in the first place, started to grow in your proverbial money garden in the first place, it's just going to grow back over time. Because underneath that visible problem is all of the family money stories, all of the religious money stories, all of the past financial, the perceived mistakes that you think you may have made in the past, all of the shame, all of the rejection, all of the judgment from others and from yourself potentially. All of that is what's holding the scarcity money identity in place. It's what's gripping the roots of the weed, and it's making it really hard to get a new financial result, to grow abundant flowers and anything else that you want to grow in your money garden, because it doesn't have the soil, the healthy, abundant soil upon which to grow. And you can't create a new money reality while you're operating from an old financial identity, from an old financial pattern, from an old financial paradigm. And that's all that stuff underneath the surface. So one of my MSpot members just shared recently that she got cards that said, like business cards, that said future banker on them, because she has this dream of creating an ethical bank. And part of her shifting out of the old money identity and into the new one was taking this really tangible action to affirm to herself that this is who she's becoming. There are internal changes that are going to lead to this external result that she wants. And what's really interesting is that nothing external really shifted for her, but there was this huge internal shift that said, hey, you're worthy of this. Hey, this is a big dream and it's possible for you. This is something that's actually possible for you, and it's safe to start taking actions on behalf of this dream and your future self and the abundant self that you are becoming. So she started seeing herself through the lens of who she is becoming and started taking actions in alignment with that vision. That's the shift. That's the real shift. That's where real change and real transformation starts to happen. Not with the strategy, but with the identity. So the identity changes first, and then the results come second, right? You don't see yourself as an abundant person once you're head of CEO of the ethical bank. You start seeing yourself as an abundant person first, and then the ethical bank will be created along the way to match who you know yourself to be. So most people think they're stuck, but they're not stuck. They're loyal to an old identity. They're loyal to that old conditioning. They're loyal to those old stories and those old beliefs. And the cool thing about that is that changing those old stories, those beliefs, and that patterning is all within your control. And you have the ability to stop those patterns from continuing to perpetuate in your life. So that's what we're going to be doing inside of the Money Identity Shift starting next week. So if you're ready to start shifting out of your old money identity that you've been operating from, and if you're tired of getting the same old financial results, if you're ready to figure out, like, what is this really costing me, and shift into what's possible for me, if you're ready to stop staying loyal to that older persona, then I invite you into this Money Identity Shift. Like I said, it's free, and we're going to start embodying this new money identity and coming from a place where you can start making these identity shifts in tiny, small, micro, really practical, really easy, really fun ways over time, so that you always feel safe with the upgrade. You always feel safe with the change that's happening, and your brain almost doesn't know it's happening. So it's not gonna pull you back into the old sabotaging behavior, because these changes are really, really small and manageable and easy and fun. And your brain's like, whoa, small, manageable, easy, fun. I can do that. And it's those micro changes over time that will eventually do a whole 180 on your money identity and a whole 180 on your bank account, if that's something that you want. So you can join me for the Money Identity Shift at theluckysoul.com/identity. I hope to see you there. We start at 9 a.m. Pacific on Tuesday, June 9th, and then we go again on Wednesday, June 10th. So drop any questions below. I am so excited for this. I hope to see you there, and I am cheersing to your new abundant identity. All right, see you soon. Bye for now.